What's going on, guys? Scoop here, and today I'm going to be giving my very brief opinions on the DNF Duel Beta that just happened this weekend, and I'm going to be listing my cons, then my pros, and then my hopes for the final game. And I was only able to play on Friday and Saturday. I wasn't able to play on Sunday, which I really regret. But starting off, Friday was a pretty bad day. I want to say for about the first 2 to 3 hours, I couldn't connect online, and if you're not able to connect online, it would put you in a match against a random CPU, but you couldn't choose your character either. It would also give you a random character, and not being able to choose your character was really frustrating to deal with. But finally, when the online started working, it was really hard to get in a lobby, because either one, you would try to join a lobby and then it would fail, or two, you could get in a lobby, but once you got in, you would instantly be disconnected. So that was really annoying to deal with. I played maybe 10 to 15 matches on Friday that were online against real people, and those matches ran pretty smoothly. I did have a few disconnections during the games, but overall it was pretty good. Saturday is where I really started to play a lot. Saturday was a whole lot better than Friday. I mean, I had pretty much no issues joining lobbies, and even though I'm not a huge fan of purely the lobby system, it worked decently on Saturday for me. I didn't have any trouble finding any lobbies, and if I couldn't find one that had any available slots, I just made my own and someone would join within 2 to 3 minutes. So not terrible, but I would prefer probably like a quick play mode that you can just instantly join and then it'll match you with someone. Alright, so on to my cons. My number one con for this beta, and this really hampers the beta a ton for me, was that there was no training mode. How are you going to have a brand new fighting game on the market and I'm unable to try these characters out in private? Now, I can see an argument for that since this is a beta, the final game might not have some of these combos or certain moves might get changed. Still, I just don't think that instance where things might get changed later on can like justify a whole mode being absent in this beta. So yeah, having no training mode is probably my biggest gripe with the beta. My second gripe is going to be the lobby system. I don't want to get rid of it entirely, but having a mode that's like quick play where you can just click it and then it'll just find you someone random will definitely help a lot more than just having to scroll through a lobby to find one, and then hopefully there's an odd amount of players and then you join and then you fight someone and hopefully they battle you in the lobby. It's a mediocre system, but I don't want to get rid of it entirely. Just having a quick play mode would definitely help out. Okay, finally onto the pros. My biggest pro with the game is the game looks godlike. I mentioned it before, but I prefer this style of graphic. Yes, I prefer this style of graphic over a game like Strive, where I feel like some parts of Strive really dwell on the animation. DNF Duel really is a lot more snappy, if that makes sense. It doesn't dwell on the animation, it's a fighting game first, but it has some really nice animation to boot, where I feel like a game like Strive puts animation first in some instances. My second pro with the game is something that's kind of small, but overall makes the game a lot better to play, and that is rematching an opponent is super quick. Some games, once you play a best of 3, it'll kick you back to the lobby and then you have to ready up again. There's an option in the lobby menu for that to happen, but if you have it on infinite rounds, if you both hit rematch, you're in the next round in about maybe 4 seconds. And that level of quickness is just something I really wish other fighting games would do instead of just booting you back to the lobby. And now I'm going to finally talk about the gameplay, which the gameplay is, that's a pro. The game plays really well, but I do have to say that the skill floor of the game is probably the lowest I've seen in a fighting game, and the skill ceiling, it's probably not going to be as high as something like Street Fighter or BlazBlue Central Fiction or just most other fighting games. It's really simple, but it's still really enjoyable to play. I just want to gush about my favorite character in the game, Ranger. Playing him is just incredible. I know playing against him is probably one of the worst things in this game, because, a bit of his zoning is a bit extreme, I will admit that. But oh my gosh, he's just so cool. And I just love his animation. I love everything about that character. And I also really like Striker. She's a really combo heavy character. I definitely am not like the highest skilled player. I know that's pretty shocking to most of you, but I'm a pretty mid-level fighting game player, but I've seen some pretty impressive stuff with Striker, and when the final game releases, I'm going to be really trying to get good with her and Ranger. Alright, so what are my hopes for the game, which is releasing in the summer of 2022? Why does it have to release so late? First and foremost, I just want a training mode, but you know, I'm hoping that's a given. Second, quick play, I mentioned that before, that'd be great. Having move sheets in the game would really help. I don't think there was one in the beta, but I've seen like a PDF online, which is kind of a weird place to put the move list for your online fighting game. Not actually in the game, but a PDF. That's a bit weird. Maybe a ranked mode. This is a pretty casual, everyone is overpowered kind of game, so maybe a ranked mode is a bit of wishful thinking, but I mean, I wouldn't mind having one. And lastly, this is a personal hope of mine, but I would really like it if everyone had air dashes and not just Dragon Knight. I know that's her whole gimmick, but it feels a bit weird not having air dashes in a game where I feel like it would be a pretty good option to have. Maybe not super good considering some of the hitboxes of some of these characters, but having that extra bit of movement would definitely add some depth to it. So yeah, those are my very brief thoughts on the DNF Duel Beta. If you enjoyed this video and you want some more DNF Duel content in the future, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. And that's about it. Take care.